Hey guys, welcome back to the Think About It podcast. I'm Nisi. I am so excited to have a safe space to speak our truth or to find it. So come on in for however long I have you here or however long I have your ear. Now let's think about it. To another episode of the Think About It podcast with your girl Nisi. What's poppin', everybody? What's good? What we doing? How's everybody doing on this Friday? Okay, if you are listening to this on a Friday morning on your way to work, okay, not in the mood for really getting up, but you here. It's about to be the weekend, y'all. If y'all at Starbucks, you know what I'm saying, at Dunkin' Donuts, at your nearest Wawa's, getting yourself a coffee, you know what I'm saying, an espresso, a mocha, a matcha, whatever you guys are getting, a green tea, a smoothie, if you got your nearest Smoothie King this morning, wherever y'all at, okay, first off, ask that person who's taking care of you, how are you doing this morning? We already know how you know how you doing, but ask that person, how are they doing this morning? Okay, speak life into somebody, all right? And then I'm going to ask y'all, honey, how are you doing this morning? All right, and if you're not listening to this in the morning, if you're not listening to this on a Friday, you listen to this on a Saturday, honey, y'all off, it's hang time, okay? What's popping? What y'all getting into this weekend? You know what I'm saying? Y'all shaking a little something, y'all doing a little something. What y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna write in your journals. What is y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Anybody gonna go to church on Sunday? What is we doing? We got any family events, honey? What are we doing? Any friends to get-togethers going on? Any little side link, you know? Any little sneaky link hookups this weekend? What's poppin'? Let me know. Talk to me. All right. Hey, you guys again. Welcome back, like I said, to another episode of the Think About It podcast with your girl. All right, y'all. Last week, did I miss last week? I don't think I missed. I don't think I missed last week on. I don't remember, y'all. I think I missed last week either on pod or on visuals. Y'all, I promise y'all. I don't want to keep saying it. Ain't no point to keep saying it if you ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna say it no more. And remember, I told you guys from my very first episode. I think even in my trailer, I said that I am just in my purpose, trying to find my purpose. I am literally on a roller coaster. It's up days, it's down days. I just want to take y'all with me. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to see the whole shindig, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent, honey. Come along, ride along with me. And like I said, y'all, it's just not about showing it. It's not about just showing it. It's about hopefully breaking something off in somebody else's household, in somebody else's life, you know, to do something. Hello, to do something. All right. So like I said, y'all, I either missed one, either visual or audio last week, but we back, we loaded, y'all. I got some exciting news. I don't even know why I mentioned it, because I'm not even gonna really give y'all the news, but we gonna get a little bit into it, nothing crazy or whatever. Y'all, we back on the wine. Yes sir, we back with the wine this time. Y'all, I've been trying my best, y'all, to stay up with my diet and kind of watch my intake on what I'm taking in. I didn't drink a lot of wine, y'all, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all know, if y'all don't know, this is your first time here, welcome. I do work in the service industry, so, you know, child, I shouldn't be saying it because my boss had his job, but I be getting my drinks every night, and I'm not a drinker. I really don't drink like hard liquor, like, you know, like the tequilas and the Patron. Tequila is Patron. What is you saying? Stupido. I don't drink the tequila, the vodkas, you know what I'm saying, the bourbons, the whiskey. I don't drink those regularly. I'm definitely more of a consistent wine drinker, y'all, but not gonna hold yeah, so with that being said, y'all, I'm actually prepping for my daughter's school dance. It's actually tomorrow. And y'all know, I mean, if y'all don't know, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, listen, I am like when it comes down to dressing, like, okay, like, you probably don't. I went, like, I'm a prom girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mother did not play when it comes down to my outfits and my dressing. You know, like I said, I grew up in performing arts. So all these things here, honey, this is my field. Do you understand me? This is what I do. Do you understand me? This is what I love. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is what I love to do. I'm super, super excited about it. And when I tell y'all, honey, I am still trying to do everything. We're still waiting on the dress. This is crazy. We're still waiting on the dress. Okay, and her dance is tomorrow. Okay, so listen, we not gonna worry about it. Everything is gonna work out in the name of Jesus. Period. All right. So yeah, that's what I got going on, y'all. This week, like I said, just kind of doing a little preparation for tomorrow. I just pray that she just enjoys herself. Make sure you guys follow me. Make sure you guys will follow me on my IG. I'm probably going, I'm not even going to mention my Facebook, but let's just make sure, like I said, make sure you follow me on my IG. It's Niecy Darling, Niecy Darling, Niecy Darling, okay? What else I got going on, y'all? So, yesterday, y'all, I did a thing. I did a ting. I did a ting. I'm so excited, y'all. I don't want to say too much about it, y'all, because I feel like God just has me in this season of speaking, but not speaking about everything. Like I'm speaking, but I'm also silent. I feel like I don't want to use the word weird, but it's just such a wondrous, I guess, place to be in, because I feel like I'm learning, questioning, and I'm asking God, first of all, I'm at a place where I take everything to God now. You know what I'm saying? Child, if I buck my toe, I'm taking it to God. Okay? So I'm just at a place, y'all, where I'm trying to fight on what should I say, or what I shouldn't say, just allow it to, do what it's supposed to. I'm not gonna say too much, because all I'm gonna say is, listen, all I'm gonna say is this. I'm working on my craft. Okay, I am working on my craft. I'm working, not my craft. I don't want to. I'm working on my purpose. Right. I'm trying to craft my purpose. I'm getting serious about my purpose. I'm excited about my purpose. I'm just excited about where I see, where I see TTAI go, okay? That's the abbreviation, if you don't know, for the Think About It podcast, TTAI, okay? So I'm just triple excited, or, I kind of see this going. So, like, I did something, in the process of doing something right now, right? And as I was doing it, I met this wonderful lady. She is literally, I love her. And then she's somebody who's been in the media, the entertainment field for years. I think she said 22 years. And she is from radio. I do feel like a lot of this whole podcast thing is kind of like a form of radio, in a sense. So she's from that, from this field, and she was so sweet. It's so crazy because I think one of the biggest things with people is we don't know how to take constructive, or let me just say I did not know how to take constructive criticism. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, I feel like when I'm excited for something and I'm so like hyped and geeked or whatever, anything that you say to me referencing what my excitement, or, talking about what I'm excited about, and it's I feel like it's a jab, I'm going to take it in a negative way. I used to, I guess you can say, take it in a negative way, but I got to a point in life where, even if it isn't constructive criticism, even if it's a person is intentionally trying to be an asshole, I feel like in every situation that you can learn to eat the meat and spit out the bones. You get what I'm saying? I feel like, even as far as like, sometimes, you can be walking by a conversation and it's not necessarily for you, but that come, or you know, they're not necessarily talking to you, but the conversation, or you know, whatever the person said kind of stick to you. You get what I'm saying? So eat the meat, spit out the bone. Yeah, that person wasn't talking to me, I'll spit the bone out, but what that person said was important, so I'll eat that. You get what I'm saying? So I said that to say, y'all, she gave me some very good critiques, I guess you can say. So with that being said, you guys, if you not already, if you're on my Instagram and you've seen it, y'all already know, y'all already seen it. And if y'all didn't take the action, that just means that you guys aren't interested in TTAI, and that's okay. You get what I'm saying? I'm just at a place of separating my purpose from. I'm not separating my purpose from my platform, but I want to make sure that I'm not losing people or misguiding people or sometimes even misleading people, or confusing people with, you know, with everything I have going on. So TTAI has its own Instagram page. Period. Okay. All things think about it. Okay. All things think about it. If you're on my if you're on my personal page, on my personal IG, and you know, I do my rants like sometime in the morning time, or when I'm on my way to the gym, or when I'm in the gym. Ain't none of that happening no more. Ain't none of that happening on Niecy Darling, okay? Niecy Darling is just going to be giving class. That's just what it is, okay? She not necessarily there for information. She not necessarily there to talk into somebody and speak into somebody. She just there to sit pretty. That's it. But TTAI though, TTAI that's where it goes down. Okay, you want something to uplift you in the morning. You just want to see what I got going on. You get what I'm saying? For the most part, like I say, I when something hit me, I just put it on IG, right? But Berg, and that's what we gonna do. We gonna keep putting it on IG, but we gonna send it over to TTAI. If you over there, you thinking about it, okay? But if you on Niecy Darling, you just trying to see some shit, all right? It ain't nothing wrong with that. It's cool, all right? So let me know what you down for. If you down for the TTAI topics, I'll go ahead and put all the information down in the description. But if you just want to go ahead right now and just join, it is TTAI with the entire WITH Niecy on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you guys tell a friend, to tell a sister, to tell a brother, y'all. Like I say, if you are a person that just like to sit down and just, you know, if you're just intrigued, or if you just, you know, you just want to know what I'm about, go ahead and follow. The good part about it is that button right there. You can hit unfollow at any time and remove your blood clot. You understand? All right? So that's all we're going to say, y'all, about the whole plans I have coming up. Just know that I am super, uber fucking excited, y'all. I'm geeked about it, y'all. And that's just it. I ain't saying nothing else. Like we say in the Bahamas, honey, sit small till your name call. Sit small till your name call. You understand? Somebody call your name? No? All right, then sit small. Then if anybody call your name, if ain't nobody call your name, sit small. All right? And my name wasn't called yet, so I'm going to sit small, honey, until it's time to talk about it. All right? So, y'all, let's go ahead, y'all, and just jump straight into the topic, okay? I hate saying topic because I do not want to base this around a topic. I just want it to be a flow, right? But with that being said, I do have, you know, I guess you can say like this preparation, I guess, thing I do to get ready for the podcast. So, you know, to make sure that I'm not like, you know, all over the place, right? So what am I doing? I feel like that what am I doing? Just that sentence itself, or that question, what am I doing? I feel like that question we ask ourselves at some point in our life, sometimes at points in our life, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? And I feel like I said that to say, when I started my journey, when I got on this realization, when I got to the point of just realizing that I gotta get to it, you know what I mean? I feel like that, but that was the first question I asked myself. What am I doing? I said this before on a podcast, on an episode before as well. I asked myself, what am I doing? Like, what are you doing? You know? And I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in what what are, like, you know, we get wrapped up in what we're supposed, or what we think that we're supposed to be doing, and then when it doesn't happen, you know, we blame God. We take it to God, right? Because, you know, I think a lot of times, especially when we're living, you know, I get it, you know, we're living a human experience, right? So, you know, sometimes we get caught and wrapped up into life, right? Into life. And especially when you're an ambitious person, or you just seeing this way of living for yourself, or you just seeing yourself doing something that you're not doing, you tend to ask yourself, what am I doing, right? And when you haven't worked on, or you don't have that relationship with God and yourself, the first thing you're gonna do, we ain't gonna blame ourselves, we gonna blame God. We gonna find somebody to blame. You know what I'm saying? That's the point, right? Remember, I speak about having crutches and handicaps. I feel like that's a crutch when, you know, the first thing when something goes wrong, or especially when something big. I feel like when you get to a point of asking yourself, what are you doing? I feel like that's the first sign of a breakthrough. That's the first sign of, like, if you take the right steps, that you can get there. But a lot of times, you know, and depending on how broken we are, sometimes we lose or we miss that step, right? And like I said, because we're living, you know, a human form, and especially in the day and age that we live in now, especially with social media and, you know, just the day that we live in, when we don't see ourselves in a place that we think we're supposed to be, or we see others, again, we blame God. But I think, and what I've learned, and as I was I think I was actually laying in bed, and I don't remember what I was doing. Long story short, this quote popped up. I want to say it was I don't remember, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But wherever this quote came from, I wrote it down. God doesn't give you what you want because you don't need it. And if He give it to you, you will have what you want, but you will lose your soul because He's after you and not your wants. Right? I don't know if I made sense, though. I wrote it down crazy, y'all. And y'all know, like I said, when I'm drinking wine, that's why I cannot stand drinking wine when I'm talking about something serious. But God give it to me. Yeah, so I feel like, you know, like I said, a lot of times what I've learned is God doesn't give you, He don't give you, you know, like for me, for instance, like I said, I remember, I said this before, growing up and, you know, me being like this star, like, you know, all the way from a baby, y'all, from a kid, just in my room dancing, imagining seeing myself with a bunch of crowd and a bunch of people, and, you know, being either a performer, you know, me being the one that's performing, or, you know, kind of like me being that, like, this lead dancer or whatever, right? And so I said that to say, you know, we all have these dreams, we all have these goals, right? And things that in our mind that we feel like this burning feeling, this is I want this, right? But at the same point in time, a lot of times God, and if it didn't happen for you, or you feel like it's not happening for me, doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. What it could mean is that God needs you to do something else before you get that, right? Because if that's something that, you know, I do feel like, you know, when you have these burning feelings and these urges from a child, or, you know, like this yearning to do something, it's a high possibility that it can be connected to your purpose. But in order for you to get to that purpose, in order for you to unlock that thing, God needs you to do some things as well, right? But again, when you don't have that connection to Him, you miss the mark, period. When you don't have the connection to Him, you miss the mark, right? And not just when you don't have it, because it's one thing not to have it. It's the next thing when you know now that you don't have it, and either you're in you're in deep waters, when now that you know that you don't have it and you don't know how or who to turn to get the work done now. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know that you could turn to God and speak to Him about, you know, this loss that you feel, or this sense of this urge that you know, this sense of this urgent, that this feeling that you have, that you always had, and you feel like you're not there. When you don't know that you can take it to God, now I feel like that's when you are on a very, very um, uncharted dark road, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, I feel like it's one thing when you know. If you know, then you know the steps to take to get there. But when you don't know, you get what I'm saying? How would you know? How would you know that okay, if I just sit there, I just I pray to God, I talk to him, I do this, I do that. If you don't know, then typically a lot of times you do the exact opposite, right? You blame God. When you don't know, or if you don't know, you do the exact opposite. You don't even think about that, man. You try to do it on your own, right? You trust on your understanding and not God understanding. Let me tell you something. When you are trusting on your understanding, that is the most scariest, dangerous place that you could ever be in. When you trust it on your understanding, I think you are way more in danger than a person who is held hostage in a bank with 3 robbers and a gun to his head, and that person believed though. That person who got the gun to the head, they believe. They believe. They already 1,000 steps ahead of you. But when you don't believe and you don't know, you are in uncharted waters. And I don't want to be there. That's too deep. It's too. I don't want to be there. Ain't anybody never been there before. Why? Don't put me there. I appreciate it, but thanks. No thanks. Okay. So like I said, y'all. Once I realized that, I had to have a understanding and understand my connection to God. In order, I had to understand my connection to God in order to get, to get to my purpose, right? And not even to what I want. I feel like when you find and when you understand your relationship with God, you take yourself out of your wants, because what my wants is may not be what God wants, right? And for me, I would prefer to go with God wants, because here's the thing. He is my creator. He already know what's going to happen in 5 years' time. You get what I'm saying? I don't even know what I'm going to eat yet, and he already know. Wait. I don't know when I'm going to get the next headache, but he know. Huh? Would it? I don't know when I'm about to, I don't have exact time on when I'm about to hop back in the shower, but he knows this though. These are the things that he knows. You get what I'm saying? More, even more deeper. God know my debt date. Okay? He knew my due date and he know my debt date. Honey, what else do I need for me to sit there and say, okay, well, if he know all that and I'm just taking it a day by day. When somebody asks, when people ask, how you doing, child? I'm just taking it day by day, because that's all you could do. You can't take it tomorrow by tomorrow, because tomorrow not here yet, but God know what tomorrow gonna bring. Right? So if I know what I know, then why would I beat myself down into the ground with me trying to figure it out for myself? Does it make sense? So I said that to say, y'all, and then a lot of times too, if you don't have, I truly believe that if you do not have a relationship with God, you can never find your purpose. I believe that. I believe if you don't have an understanding with God, I feel like if you don't even know, you don't know who he is and what he do, how would you know what your purpose is? How can you find your purpose if you don't know who he is, what he do, right? And then I also believe I was actually listening to the No For Sure podcast. Shout out to Megan Brooks and B. Simone. When I think so sorry, I lost my train of thought. I hope it come back to me. But what I'm saying basically is a lot of times we sit there and we're so focused on on the human experience, right? And I get it, like I said, because we're living it, right? But when you know that you have a higher power, when you know and you have testimonies, right? And situations where you can sit there and say, listen, it ain't no way in the world that no man on the face of the earth did this like this. Ain't no way. It had to been for somebody else. When you know that, right? I feel like that is also a clear I got it back, y'all. So what I was going to say, y'all, before I lost my train of thought was, Megan Brooks said that, even with the will of God, God would you would only get what God has for you by living in his kingdom and his understanding, right? There are certain things that you will never get. You cannot get if you're not following God's will and understanding. right? And if your purpose, right? Sometimes God give us purpose from young. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes God give us our calling from young, right? Because of life, right? Because of, you know, traumas and you again living a human experience. You know, a lot of other stuff kind of, you know, take, you know, kind of come into play. Whilst, you know, even though we, you know, we seen our purpose, we seen our calling from a young child, a lot of other things kind of come into play. And then, you know, again, if you learn to build and grow that, then you realize that connection with that God put into you when you was even down to a baby. You get what I'm saying? But if you're not doing the work, if you're not consistent with the work, you will never. If you don't even know who God is, how do you get there? How do you get to your purpose? Right? So sometimes, you know, when I hear a person say, you know, it's y'all, you know, you get to a point of realizing that you get to a point once you realize that, okay, well, okay, God has an understanding. Once you realize that, even, okay, let's just break it down like this, right? When a child, let's just say for y'all that have kids, right? Or, you know, that has young siblings, as an adult that you are, right? Let's kind of imagine it. You're standing on the sidewalk waiting to walk, go across the street. Your child or your brother, your little sister, your little cousin, whatever, God, baby, whatever, ball went across the street, right? Into traffic. The child goes, I want to get my ball. I want to get my ball. You say, no, you cannot get the ball because you know as an adult that there's cars going back and forth. And if you walk across the street, you know the outcome, you know, the possible outcome from walking into traffic, right? So as an adult, you know what you know, right? But as a child, okay, the child job, the only thing that they could do is trust that you have their best interest in heart, right? Same thing, honey, like God, and even on a bigger scale. This man, no, he created it. He is our creator, every single part of it. Okay, so if he knows that, listen, if I know, okay, well, in order for me to get here, right? And there's certain things in life, like I said, y'all, it's impossible to get if you're not following that man. It's certain things. It may seem hard or seem tough or seem difficult, but when you follow him and when you understand him, right, and you allow him to lead you, then you realize, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? And for me, y'all, I said this before and I'll say it again. I have way too many testimonies that I can sit there and say, okay, well, you know, this is what I was dealing with, but I didn't have the answer. But when I allowed myself to solely trust into that man above, and I mean solely, I mean with every fiber of my beings, I don't have nothing left. God would do something. Let me tell you something. God will put you in a place where all you have, you ain't got nothing else, baby. You ain't got nothing else. All you got is this trust. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And when he puts you in listen to me, when God puts you in a place where it is nothing left, or you have no more resources that you can use except his trust. I feel like God gave us all will. Not feel, I know. We all have a will. We all have a will. But a lot of times, again, the scariest part to be in is when you don't know God. So when your back is against the wall and you feel like you have nothing left, God looking at you like, that is so crazy. You can imagine yourself in a room. I mean, just a room, square room, box room, and it's in your mind, it ain't nothing left in there except for you and that light. Door shut. And this whole entire time, because we live in human form, God living in spirit form, right? Right? God looking at you like, hey, hey, use me. Just think about me, just one bit. Just, I'm telling you, right? But a lot of times, y'all, we don't even allow, you want to talk about do yourself a disservice? I feel like God puts you in a place, he puts us in a place, y'all, where he gives us so many chances to say, listen, give me mine, because that's me right there. Okay, y'all, like I said, you guys, once I realized, and I knew what I knew, and I knew that whatever I wanted, wherever I seen myself, whatever I truly whatever God purpose is, for whatever my purpose is, of course I know it's connected to God, right? Whatever my big one is, whatever that may be, I know for a fun fact that it's connected to God. And I know that I cannot get there without him, because I do feel like, my calling is a little more major, and the things that I have to do to get there, I cannot do it without him. And I don't want to do it without him. You get what I'm saying? God knows the room before I know it. See, when you trusting in God and you getting stuff lined up, and you following him, he can clear people out the room before you even get there. You get what I'm saying? You had somebody that was gonna sit there on your comfort. You have a major speaking day, and they was gonna intentionally, I don't know, try to cut your mic or try to do something. When you following God, God would make sure whilst that person on their way coming down the highway, about to pull into the seminar, guess what happened? Or before they even get anywhere close to the seminar, guess what happened? The car don't start over, to make sure that person don't have no time to get nowhere close to that vicinity. Hello? But that's how he do it. And when he do it, honey, ain't nobody can do it better than him. You understand me? When you trust in him, when you understand, y'all, I'm telling you, when you understand that, and whatever it is, but especially when it comes down to your purpose, especially when you get to the point of asking yourself, what am I doing? I'm going to tell you what you're not doing. You're not talking to God. That's what you're not doing. Stop asking yourself, what am I doing? And ask yourself, what are you not doing? Because I promise you, you'll find your answer better by asking yourself what you're not doing than asking yourself, what am I doing? Because you ain't doing nothing. That's the problem. But what you can do, I bet you can find that answer. Okay? And also, too, y'all, the biggest thing I've learned is, a lot of times, too, we ask God for so much things, but our pride is so big. We ask God for all these things, but we so prideful, right? And let me tell you something I've learned. I don't know where I heard it from, but I'm going to say it, and I'm probably going to get it tatted. God will not compete with pride. God ain't competing with your pride. So if that's what you're waiting for, you're going to keep waiting. Might as well you go ahead and get that casket ready 6 feet, because he ain't competing with it. You will never have it if you think you're going to compete with your pride. God wants you, and he wants you, naked. Okay? And when I tell y'all, when I got to the point, and when I say, listen, I always think, every time I speak to God, I'm like, last year I thought my relationship lit with him. Every year, y'all, my relationship with God get litter and litter and litter and litter. Why? Because I'm able to just let it all just hang loose in the front of him, because I know if I'm giving it to him, he ain't trying to embarrass me. He ain't trying to shame me. He ain't trying to do something for the betterment of him. That ain't what he doing. That ain't what he doing. It all comes together. It all works for the greater good. You understand me? So when I realized that, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so God don't want me to just be focused on what I want to do, right? God don't want my pride to be. So let me talk to him and let me see what's up. Because if he don't want me to do all this, then clearly he know what's up. A lot of times, y'all, we sit there and, the reason why we not where we want to be is because of you. The reason why you're not where you want to be is because of you. God, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting. But let me tell you another thing, too. God ain't going to keep waiting, though. He's not going to keep waiting, because if he sees somebody else that's more obedient, right? If he sees somebody else that's doing the work and more intentional than you are, guess what? You missed your turn. Period. And one thing about it, God don't just give you, he ain't going to just sit there and say, let me see if she want to lesson him to throw this ball. Nah, baby. God gonna throw a ball. He gonna throw a hat. He might throw a whole house on top of your head just for you to get it. But when he realized, okay, she don't want it. He ain't gonna keep knocking on your door. He don't need you. You know how much of us he made? I guarantee you somebody gonna get it. And one thing about it, two things for sure, I do not want to play with that man. I don't want to play with him. I don't want to miss my mark. I said this. I think this was a topic on an episode before. I mean that by every meaning of meaning that, honey. I do not want to miss my mark. Whatever God had for me, I want it. Please. Okay? I don't think nothing else, y'all, on this face of this earth can hurt me than me missing what God had for me. Do you understand? I don't want to miss it. It ain't nothing and nobody that's doing on this earth that makes me say, okay, well, I'd rather be here. Please. Please. Because you know why? I can tell you, honey, when I walk in the room with him, gotta give him all his praise. Because I'd be like, Lord, it was you. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been. Okay? So, y'all, I just hope, y'all, that I'm able to, or I was able to get somebody to stop asking, what am I doing? Ask yourself, what are you not doing? Okay? What are you not doing? And the thing is even when it comes down to that question, what am I doing? If you don't know yourself, right? And the thing is you can never, it's impossible to know yourself inside out wholeheartedly without knowing your connection to God. We are of God and God is of us. We are made in his liking and his understanding. We are made in his liking. We are made in his liking and in his understanding. So at some point, you're going to have to get out of your define and get to his so you can see where that connection comes in. Do you understand that? You have to look, you have to find that connection. You have to connect the dots. Because if you're not connecting the dots, you will never get the drawing right. It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay? If you don't know your connection to God, if you don't know your connection to God, if you don't understand, his understanding, if you don't understand, or, you don't even have it, you don't even made your first step. You don't even speak to that man. How you know when he call you, right? Because if your purpose, if you are looking, if you have these big dreams, let's just say it is a part of your purpose. How you know when he calling you to your purpose if you don't know him? Let's talk about it. See, a lot of time people feel like, you got to be real careful because the devil give you things that look like purpose. The devil don't have nothing but purpose in it, but he give you things that make it look like it's of God. But if you're not following him, it is understanding. If you don't take the time out for him, if you only call on him when you need him, please know that ain't the God. That ain't God, not the God I serve. Don't put him in that because he ain't got nothing to do with that. Don't put him in that because he ain't got nothing like fenyo to do with that. Okay? But I know, and what I do know is when you get to the point of accepting, number one, when you get to the point of accepting that it's impossible to move anywhere in the right direction without him, that's the first step. That's the first step. Okay, let's stop asking ourselves, what am I doing? What am I doing? Y'all, I get it. I get that question, but that is such a that question that question would not give you the answer that you're looking for. Ask yourself, what am I not doing? Ask yourself, do I have a relationship with God? Ask yourself, what is my connection to God? Ask yourself if your understanding your relationship to God is connected to your family or to your grandmother or to, some family member. Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that you take the time out for yourself to be intentional on finding a relationship and a connection with God. Ask yourself that. I think a lot of times people don't know that you can talk to that man openly and hold. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, I get to the point, y'all, when I talk to God, listen, I'm respectful, but I can get real mean. I ain't lying. I ain't lying to you. Because I'll be like, God, because what's up? Like, what's up? Like, I don't get this. I don't understand it. And I need you to tell me. Okay? Now, y'all don't just go to God being mad and stuff for no reason. Like you got to read. Pipe down. You know what I'm saying? But, I feel like, you just kind of you have to find that relationship and that connection, your connection with God. I do believe that God, he is made in your image and, in your, he's an image of you. So I don't feel like, God relationship with, with any two men are the same. I mean, there's definitely going to be, relatability, of course, because God does not change. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of God is like, he is consistent all the way around the board, but he fits your image. That is the most, Picasso can't make nothing more beautiful than that, honey. Okay, what? He do not change. He's the consistent person in every room, right? But he is created in your image, right? So he understands what you went through. He get what you gonna say. He get what my neighbor gonna say. He get what the girl down the street gonna say. He get what Lakeisha gonna say. He get what Steven gonna say. He gets it. He gets it. But because he's not inconsistent in no way or form. Okay? So when you realize that, okay, boom. Well, if God isn't the one that's being inconsistent, if God is still, if he's made in my image and my liking, right? I don't think it ain't God. I think it's me. I gotta work on me. And like I said, y'all, in order to work on you, you still gotta go to God. You can't do it without him, honey. You can't do it without him. All right. This conversation, y'all, wasn't as long. And that's okay, because I honestly did not want it to be that long. I got a lot of stuff to do today. Like I said, y'all, we're prepping for school dance tomorrow. Like I said, I have some stuff in the works, and I'm really trying my hardest to get on it. With that being said, y'all, and I know I'm probably giving this to myself. I'm gonna say it, but maybe I'm gonna say it to motivate myself or to keep myself uplifted and encouraged. But when you have something that you know what you know that you're not supposed to live an ordinary life. You know that you're connected to something. You might not have the answers, y'all. I don't have the answers, but what I know is what I know. It's what I feel when I'm around, people that's intentional with life, and when I'm having intentional conversation, just watching their interactions with me, just watching their faces, their facial expressions. It's a beauty. And it's something that also Megan said, I listen to a lot of KFS. I listen to a lot of Sarah Jake pod. I listen to a lot of pod. Anything inspirational, I try my hardest to get in. But Megan Brooks said, it was a I forgot his name. Don't do me. But they were on the Know For Sure podcast, the last episode, and he was speaking about, and he said he has, I guess he's like one of those persons in church where he's very like flamboyant or charismatic, he gonna be loud, he gonna praise God, but to some people they might feel like, oh, you're doing the most or whatever. And he said that, what he knows is his aura and his persona can change the room. And when I listen, hit me like a ton of bricks, because I know what I know. What I know is I have an aura, and I'm still trying to learn things that God put in me and placed in me, and I feel like it is so beautiful. And sometimes I don't even appreciate it, and I want to, because I want to be able to nourish it in the most beautiful way instead, and not a negative way, right? But I know that I have an aura that can change the temperature in any room that I walk into. I'm aware of that. I have an aura that can build up or break down. I can make someone smile by just smiling. I personally feel like my jokes are that funny, but I can make someone laugh. You know what I mean? And when you are aware of that, when you are aware, because that's a gift. It's a gift. When I hear sometimes my coworkers or people say, and sometimes it's like with this one of my coworkers, she is so charismatic. I feel like she's way more charismatic than me, and I feel like, oh, she'll be perfect for the creative field as well. And she's like, girl, no. She's like, I cannot do that. I'm like, what? But when you realize that then you know that God is real, because God made you. Even though God made you in his image, and he put the things that he wants in you. You know what I mean? So when you know that, right? When you know that, I said that to say, y'all, when I got to the point of really realizing that, and again, thank God for podcasts and people that's intentional like them, because again, it does something to me. I really realized, and I really know that that's my gift. That is my gift. That is a part of my gift, right? So when I have times when I'm not intentional, or I'm just kind of, going throughout the day, I need to always remember to check myself, because, and then to check the rooms that I'm in, because maybe if it's one thing if I'm in, in the car by myself, I'm not having a good day or whatever, but when I'm around other people, I have to make sure that I'm being intentional and being deliberate on what and how I'm showing up. Period. Yeah, I feel like, and then when God gives you a gift like that, who am I to sit there and turn it off and turn it on when I want to? God, thank you. Okay, thank you. So that's what I'm definitely gonna be working on in these weeks to come. Is just crafting my aura and being very deliberate and intentional. Not crafting, but being deliberate and intentional, and maybe a little craft too. Maybe a big craft too, like to allow myself to, in certain rooms to not even, Tanisha, don't even. When you are in this room, don't. So, a little form of crafting as well, to make sure that I'm just being my best self. I just want to be my best self. I know it sounds so cheesy, so boring, whatever, honey. What I do know is, honey, this is what's gonna break off generational patterns. Hello, this is what I do know is this is going to help somebody, even if it's a half a person. There's no such thing of a half person, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even if whatever it do, God, that's okay with me. Okay. Yeah, I love this topic today, you guys. It was super important for me to bring this to you all, because I feel like that is a constant question that we sometimes ask ourselves, and we don't come up with an answer. Okay, and that's the point of it. Don't be asking yourself just to ask yourself. You have a question mark at the end of it. It's supposed to be an answer. All right, so y'all, let's just go ahead and get into the word of the week. What's the word of the week? Word of the week is FUF. Fix you first. Period. Cool. That's the word of the week. FUF. Fix you first. You already know what to do. Don't be the second, don't be the third. You got to be the first person in the DMs, all right? Goes down in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. I wish it go down in the DM. Like, it need to go down in my DMs. Like, you know what I'm saying? But don't be nobody. It don't be nobody that interests me that be really and truly be in my DMs. But anyway, let's just get back on track. Got to be down in the DM on IG. No more Niecy Darling, okay? No more. We not having it. You cannot send it to Niecy Darling IG, okay? Remember, all TTAI, honey. That's what we got. We got all TTAI. So make sure you guys go ahead and send that over to the Think About It TTAI with Niecy. On Instagram to get your couple of bucks. You know what I'm saying? Get a little drink for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the bar, drinks on me. You know what I'm saying? All right, so you already know, y'all. We introduced a new segment. What you've been playing in your car? What's been on your Bluetooth? What's been on your AirPod? What you been listening to in your room? What you been listening to? Are you one of those persons, y'all, when you take a shower or when you in the bath, you gotta play some music? Because that's me. I gotta either play some music, I gotta either be listening to something, I have to be doing something. It gotta be it has to be giving vibes in the bathroom. If it's not giving vibe in the bathroom, then I don't feel like I'm bathed properly. You know what I'm saying? Period. From Young Wylin, YUNGWYLIN, and it's called Good Energy. All right? Good energy. Yeah. I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency. I'm talking higher G-O-D, good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency. I'm talking higher G-O-D. I told y'all, I've been so crazy on the Afrobeat. The Afrobeat been beating me bad. I love the African people. I love the Afrobeat. The Afrobeat is nothing better, but it's nothing better than the Afrobeat. Do you understand? Nothing better than the Afrobeat. Do you understand? It's gonna be something better, y'all, when I'm off the Afrobeat fade. But right now, y'all, the Afrobeat is beating y'all. I love that song. It's from, like I said, Young Wildin', Good Energy. I had a crazy like I said, I told y'all, roller coaster week last week, y'all. So I just needed. I'm one of those persons, y'all. The more I get into, you know, myself and improving myself, y'all. It's when I'm not like having a good week or I'm not having a good day, I cannot listen to any gibberish. I cannot just listen to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe in energy. I do believe, you know what I'm saying? You could sit in there and you mad and then you sit there and listen to some Set It Off. I'm set it off in this motherfucker. Now I'm hella mad. I'm extra mad. You know what I'm saying? So I try my best, y'all, to fight what I'm feeling with positive music. So that's what I've been listening to, y'all. If y'all want to, if y'all have those days and those moments, y'all, where y'all just get in y'all little head or whatever, check him out. Young Wildin', Good Energy. I love you guys so much. Like I said, y'all make sure you guys follow me on IG. TTAI with me. That's what we're gonna get into the whole. We're gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. We gonna, like I said, you gonna get them rants. You gonna get the first everything. The first everything is coming on there. Period. If you follow me on Niecy Darling, you just gonna get a good look. Okay. Period. Don't you forget, y'all, to tell the sister, cousin, brother, uncle, auntie, niece, great. See. There I go again. Don't you forget to tell the sister, cousin, brother, auntie, uncle, niece, great uncle on your daddy's side, and you don't even know that nigga because he ain't been you don't even know that. Honestly, you don't know near the motherfucking family because that nigga ain't even been around. Fuck the daddy, to be honest with you. Tanisha, why is you cussing after having this whole deep conversation? This is the thing about a podcast. But your girl Niecy. We out.